Well, for starters, the vault yesterday, we can talk about that. The vault, so it's what I said it was. It was the scuff wasn't necessarily something being wrong with the scripts. It was still based on them hitting it at the wrong time. So if you can't hit the power plant, you shouldn't be hitting the vault, essentially, is what happened. So the reason it returned that this had already been hit in the power plant is because the first two front doors are on a different cycle, or were on a different cycle, to the rear doors. So it would be marked that the front doors were okay to hit, but the back ones weren't okay to hit because the vault hadn't reset. So them being halfway through and the power turning on was going to happen anyway. So they were fucked. They fucked themselves. It was just a incorrect message they received, basically. But either way, they wouldn't have got through it, is what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, it's just I don't even know. I ended up giving their stuff back because, you know,
Here, Jesse.
I don't really I don't really give a shit if what did I come in here for, chat? I was gonna do something. I don't really give a shit if people, you know, do that stuff, rob the vault, whatever. Oh, bandages, that's what I was gonna do. So they took too long to hit. No, they didn't even do the power plant. That's the thing. They didn't even do the power plant. So they set themselves up to fail, essentially. And why they did that, I've got no idea. Like, that was just being impatient, and while they were there to crucify the RP of police and whatever. Well, I mean, they were until they saw the clips of us not really doing bad eggs. You know, well, I don't know, fucking some of the shit Buddha was saying about, you know, never playing the time zone again and shit was sort of like, I don't know. But yeah, it was just it was just like their own doing, I think. Like, they were 100% destined to fail that no matter what. And you know, the argument being that though this you know, months of build up to get these items to do this, that's true, you know, it's true. That's the intention. It's meant to take a while to get there, to get to that level. But to think it's okay to rush a vault, have no plan to get away, and think that that's a good way to get away, or think that that's how it should be, is completely against the ideal for what it is, right? It's not meant to be a fun chase. It's not meant, well, I mean, it's meant to be fun, but it's not meant to be a goof fun chase, you know? Police, it's the chance we get serious. That's why we get to have rifles. Same with at the power plant and shit like that. It pays out a lot of money, or has the potential to pay out crazy amounts of money. And there's a reason for it, because of the risk reward that they've always cried about. You know what I mean? There's been all this, hey, we want a higher risk job, we want a higher reward job, and then when it's in there, they expect it to be a low risk, high reward job. That's essentially the outlook they've got on it now. And I don't know how to sort of, you know, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest. It's just mixed messages, dude. Like, one day it's you know, well, the entire thing was built on that specific pretense that, you know, we wanted the high risk, high reward, and it was based off what, you know, other people had said and they'd said specifically. I mean, even the fleekers weren't meant to be so baby driven, but the server itself has gone that way, obviously, and you know, that's just how it is. But I still think when it comes to the vaults, it shouldn't be baby dick shit, and you shouldn't get upset either in character or whatever when it does happen like that. I think them being S1'd after 5 to 10 minutes in the chase was okay. Like, I don't see why that was in any way upsetting, or should have been upsetting, considering it's the vault. I think everything sort of went well or normal from a standard. But the thing that I think triggered them was them being rammed in a chase, but that was like desync as seen. But the problem being is, as soon as it happens, you hear them OOC angry about it, which which gives us the blame straight away, when in reality we didn't really do anything wrong. We sort of, you know, got an S1 call, did the procedure, started S1ing them, and then they got desynced, essentially, is what happened. And I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know. I didn't watch it from their perspective to see what their car did. But, I mean, it slowed down hella for that tunnel. And then, you know, I got rammed, and then they got rammed by cops and whatever. It's like, you know, I don't know. I think there was a lot of fucking hate and shit coming out for the police. But I think there was just as much to blame on their laziness as well. But I'm willing to say, you know, I'm willing to say that you know, if it's just like it's not, you know, it's not meant to be the fun goofy chase. They even talked about this at the meeting. They didn't want it to be like that. They wanted the vault to be a serious, more monk-esque situation. And if we go to what a fleeker is, it's literally fucking Pepega. You know, it's the same old generic shit that doesn't have any weight bearing to it. And that's what we try to make, man. You know, that's the reason we made Green Lassie and all that shit too. So I don't know. Either way, I mean, I still was having fun with it anyway. I still would have had fun with it. Like I said, and I'll always say, I try and do what I do based on, you know, how people portray them to me, portray themselves to me, in the scenario. But yeah, you know, it's, I still think the vault should be, you know, how that was pretty much. A lot of it comes down to the criminals and how they plan their getaway. And, you know, if the police see you driving for like 5 to 10 minutes, we're probably just gonna start S1ing you. You know what I mean? Like, they looked like they didn't know what they were doing. They drove up to fucking Paleto just about and drove all the way back. And then they got S1'd. You know, we tried to let a plan unfold. Nothing unfolded. So do we just drive around and follow them until they crash in a vault robbery? You know what I mean? Like, that isn't risk at all. That's just fucking waiting for a ghost car to win you the event. So, yeah. So was it actually scuff, or are you just an amazing person for giving stuff back? No, it wasn't. So they were fucked. They fucked up. 100% they fucked up. They should have done the power plant. So the reason it was confusing for them, and I gave them the shit back because I just don't give a fuck. Really, I just don't care. I'd prefer to see them do the vault again. So basically, when the script resets, everything is set to this has already been hit, right? That was the default message in the vault. This has already been hit, or whatever the fuck it is. So the front 2 doors, the gates, were on a different cycle to the vault doors, because the vault doors were considered, you know, not normal doors. They were you know how you can press E to open the top doors? They were on a different cycle, which gave them the go ahead to be ready to go. That's been resolved, but the power being turned on midway was going to happen anyway. So even if they got through that next 3 doors, the power was going to turn on and they were going to get locked in the vault. That's probably what would have happened. So they were fucked. They were screwed either way. But like I said, you know, I don't give a fuck if they do it again. I'll always have fun doing that shit. And I just don't give a fuck, really. That's whatever, dude. Just nuke the vault. Yeah, we can blow it up, dude. But I'm still disappointed that they would, you know, say that the cops aren't role playing how they should in that scenario. While not even planning the biggest heist in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I think it goes both ways. Like, yeah, we probably could have done that chase better towards the end and given more room or something like that. But at the same time, you know, I think people are quick to say, hey, you did this, and not look at myself and say, hey, yeah, okay, we probably could have done this different or whatever. But that's, you know, that's how the ball rolls. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? You know, we chat about it for a bit, and I don't think anyone really... I think the main frustration was them losing the shit, but they'll imply it's other stuff as well. But I think if you lose that many cards, you got to start looking for excuses naturally to begin with. You know, after it, I don't think they were quite as heated, but in that point where you have a big loss on your character, even I'll do it. You know, I'll have got shot on fucking auto or something, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like, you know, what's a fucking reason this happened, and you'll say some bullshit. You know, it's not, you know, everybody sort of does it. But the reality is different at the end of the day. You know, a heated conversation isn't the reality of the situation. That's just natural to what people say. But yeah, I think you know, I think it should be pretty much how it is. But at the same time, like I said, I don't know what we can do for desync shit, but you know, it's gotta happen, man. It's gotta happen. We could have definitely given them more room, but I can't really remember if I got rammed before. I can't remember what happened, but either way, it was like there was no intentional way of breaking them. When I got in front, I 100% tried to block the tunnel though, and I still think shit like that is fine 10 minutes into a chase or 5 minutes, however fucking long it was. It was quite a while. It was no different from any other chase in my opinion, except for, like, you know, if it was a store robbery, obviously we'd fucking chase you for fucking 20 minutes and yell random shit out the car and shit like that. That's got to be a little different. As for the fucking, like, this is one thing I do want to talk about though, is this fucking shit. So something that was taken out of context. I don't know if I can find it still. It might have got downvoted into oblivion already. Oh, never mind. It already got voted into 0. But either way, I want to address it anyway because I feel like it's very unfair that it was spoken like this.
And as a result, no one really taught these new people what to do, and now everyone's doing whatever seems to get them the most success, and it's just unfortunate because we could all have more success. I mean, again, man, the boom didn't go up and then down for a reason. It went down because the quality went down. And people are acting like, well, it's all good. You know, again, there was a clip that kind of disappointed me the other day I saw of Koil that says, well, as long as everybody's having fun, I don't care.
See, this right here is the context of a clip that is taken out of context.
Good. You know, again, there was a clip that kind of disappointed me the other day I saw of Koil that says, well, as long as everybody's having fun, I don't care.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, I run a community. The end goal of running a community is to try to make the mass happy and try to keep yourself happy at the same time. That wasn't exactly what I said. What I said is my view of the server right now is we're a Simpsons episode. There's room for serious characters. There's room for goofball characters. And it can all blend very well if the goofball character is prepared to bow down to somebody that is greater than him. You know, I'll act like a bitch around certain people, and as long as that consistency's there, I think the immersion and roleplay can still be there. I don't think roleplay has deteriorated in the server. I think the style of roleplay has changed in the server, but I still think we've got just as good roleplayers in the server we do now as we did before. Just because the style has changed and you know, it's sort of been embraced by the more quote-unquote serious role players doesn't mean the role play is worse. It's just a different type. The reality of it is though, 12 months ago, you know, one of the best characters to take in from the boom, well, some of the best characters weren't even that serious at role players. You know, it was still like you know, Eugene was still doing dumb shit that didn't make sense. I mean, the world in itself still didn't make that much sense. And I don't think us catering to viewers as streamers is the incorrect way of trying to maintain a content creator server. You know what I mean? I think it's not about pogs per second though. Like I think the way I do Francis is comedy. It's for laughs. It's not for pogs. You know, I'm not trying to go around and, you know, rob banks, get in chases or whatever. You know, do crazy shit. I'm just trying to make people laugh, dude. And that's why I say it's more similar to a Simpsons episode right now than it is to, I don't know, like Bad Boys-esque. where it's somewhat reality, but you know, a bit of peg on the side. I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to say what the style of RP was and compare it to a movie before, because everybody has this convinced idea that it was serious. But let's you know, we had Otto, who was a fucking Australian cocaine lord who was high as fuck all the time, that just walked around the streets abusing people and fucking telling women he wants to put their dick in them. You know what I mean? That character wouldn't have survived that long in a reality. You know, we got the Southside gangs who are willing to just shit on everybody. It doesn't matter who they are, cops, judges, you know, even Otto, you know, somebody that's quote unquote a kingpin. People would just shit on everybody. You know, it was never about the being true to the character 100%. It was never like that, I don't think. It was more, it was still about pogs and having fun, you know. That's what I still think it was. But obviously there was characters that stood out more and were true to their character. But I still don't think back then the server was, you know, 100% reality. I mean, even Young Dab, think about how he started, dude. He was literally role playing a person that rapped like garbage, walked up to cops and said, "Hey Otto, I've got this shotgun for you." You know, he was literally there being a memer to begin with. That shit was fucking hilarious though, and everybody loved that shit. While it did get more serious towards the end, and that's the character development that a lot of people lack. You know, the server back then was fucking jokey as fuck as well. And it wasn't a realism type server still, I don't think. But obviously, like I said, you know, we're at a fucking point where it's I see it as a Simpsons episode, and if we want to retain viewers and retain the content that we can create for viewers, entertaining the viewers is our goal. You know, we're streamers. That's what we do. We want to entertain the people that are watching our streams. And if we go and be fucking serious Otto that has to drive around in a car all day, and just talk to people, you know, without much base to the story, especially with the way the economy is, nobody wants to watch that shit, dude. Nobody wants to watch that shit. That's not the viewers we really have right now. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's not like I think he said some other shit at the end, but either way, you know, I think oh, did I already close it? I think to imply that what did I do with that shit? Did I already close that?
And as
but
result,
I just wanted to say the
copies
context
new
there
people what to do.
is completely invalid. Like that's not
And,
what was
people
it?
were asking me the other day. I saw of Koil that says, "Well, as long as everybody's having fun, I don't care."
Yeah, that's not exactly what I said. You know, that's implying that I don't care if roleplay is trash. I still want people to be a character. I still want them to have their weaknesses, strengths. I just don't care about the style of roleplay. And this is a thing that I think TFRP had against servers like NoPixel to begin with. Their understanding of roleplay is somebody that is a realistic roleplayer. When the reality of it is, every style of character is a roleplay character, and serious roleplay isn't realistic roleplay. Serious roleplay is when you're true to a character. It doesn't matter what sort of character it is. Realistic roleplay is when you're trying to base it off real world, you know, scenario, and that's not what the server's doing at the moment. That doesn't mean you can't be a serious roleplayer and roleplay here, though. You know, like I said, you could put Homer Simpson in this world and he'd be the funniest fuck on the planet, but he'd still be a great role player, you know, even though it's based on comedy. But even when you look in The Simpsons, there's still gang-like characters here and there. There's still rough characters. You know, a serious character or a more, you know, realistic hard character can still have a place in the world. It just comes down to the base of people role playing that they're the tougher characters. So you watch Mel around Otto, for instance. Mel will start rubbing his hands together and be a bitch. You know what I mean? But Mel, on the other hand, will go get in a fucking Lamborghini and drive around the fucking city calling cops pieces of shit and punching them with brass knuckles. You know what I mean? That's the standard of roleplay that I still would consider serious roleplay, but it's not not necessarily realistic. So it fits the world, but it's not a realistic world, and that's not bad roleplay. I think that's just misconstrued or construed, whatever the fucking word is.
And again, man, everybody who's there right now is having fun, but you're completely you're completely. What about the people who aren't there? You know, what about all the people who were having fun who aren't anymore?
Yeah, but like, who though?
And I'd argue that a lot of those people were had a lot to do with the quality of the server whenever the boom came in the first place.
Who was left? Like, I don't think many people have actually left. Like, the thing is with Sentry, 10 out of 10 role player. When it comes to critiquing shit, I don't think he's willing to look at it from all perspectives, or sadly not get the context of everything that was said there. But yeah, I think that was just sort of bending what I'd said, in all honesty. And I've tried to say, you know, plenty of times that you know, to imply that I would be trying to hurt the server or not want it to grow or something, or, you know, not try to cater for people in the server is weird to me, considering, you know, how long it's lasted compared to any other server ever. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just fucking strange, dude. Oh, it's whatever. His critiques are over dramatic. No, I think the problem is, like, he has a critique that has a standing, but he rants and then it becomes something else. That's what I think happens. He honestly has a lot of good opinions and things that make sense. But then he keeps talking about the same thing, and it builds out, and then it just starts to become mush. Just fucking whatever. That's the way I see it. Not always, just sometimes, by the way. But that's the way, oh fuck, I didn't fix the gas leak thing on extras. Honestly, the way the server is now is keeping the viewers, the streamers are getting the cash, and everyone is having fun. No need to make it 100% serious RP all the time. Well, the thing is, that's what I'm saying though. It is serious RP though. I still want serious RP. I just don't care about realistic RP. You know, throwing Molotovs at people was probably a bit excessive, sure. But think about what I've done here. I didn't throw a Molotov at somebody and put them in jail for it. I knew the boundary would be very well overstepped if I ruined their fucking day. You know what I mean? And in saying that, I roleplayed to get these fucking Molotovs like a month ago or something, and I used them before I don't know if they expire. I just used them before they expired. But you know, as dumb as the roleplay is, there is still roleplay that is creating this happening. I'm an idiot. You know, my character's fucking dumb, dude. And I've said I don't give a fuck if I get suspended. If Bobby logged in and saw me fucking run over somebody and said, "Hey, that's your 30 strike points. You're suspended for 3 days," I'd be like, "Okay." Well, I wouldn't be like, "Okay." I'd be like, "Fuck, bro. What am I going to tell my mom? I still live with her, bro." And then, you know, I'll just go and do civ shit. It's not an issue. And I think there's a mixed message of like, hey, police don't get punishment. But honestly, I'm willing to take punishment, man. I honestly would love to take punishment. But, you know, when I go and suspend Rami a month ago or whatever, fucking whenever it was, or whenever I threatened him and Brian to get suspended, everybody's fucking crying about it. You know what I mean? The month after, oh my God, why don't they suspend people? It's no matter what you do, you're not going to please everybody. But me personally, I'd love to be able to go through natural roleplay suspensions and shit like that, And I said to Vader last night, because he, you know, obviously they got an issue with how the cops act it sometimes. But I said, you guys have the power, man. If you guys get evidence or enough people to go through a court case and say, hey, this guy did this, here's our evidence, they can go through the ADA or whoever processes that shit and create a suit. If Bobby sees me get sued in court and I lose for stabbing somebody, he's going to suspend me. You know what I mean? Like, you'd expect that to happen. So, you know, I think the RP avenues are there, but people don't want to take RP avenues at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, laziness falls on both sides, and I think it's still there. I think there's a possibility that sort of should happen to it, and I sort of hope that, you know, people are willing to do that. I don't want it to be like, oh, that cop you know, pulled me over and called me a dick, I'm gonna sue them and get them suspended. I don't want it to be like that. You know, you still want to be able to have that banner and shit talk, but at the same time, if I go too far, talk to a lawyer, drag me through the court, do whatever. I'm gonna have fun with that shit. Even if I do get suspended, I'll still enjoy it. People will complain, but eventually we'll watch or play. It's just the rage at the moment. Yeah, sure, but you know, Reddit's unforgiving and unforgetting in dumb shit because it only takes 20 morons to agree with something. I mean, for instance, look at this, guys. Look at how fucking stupid these guys are. But the problem is, this is what. While I do say, well, I do say, you know, Reddit's fucking funny, but at the same time, it's fucking stupid at the same time. No, that's not it. Where was the other Vault thread? Has it already got? No, here we go. So the first, where is it? There's the second post now. This guy that I've downvoted. I'd downvote everybody if I could, by the way. Also, to be honest, also the cops aren't being cops. Francis okayed the pit as cadet. This guy gets upvoted, right? By, you know, like 100 people. But the reality is, when you go and watch the VOD, five minutes before that.
Oh, northbound Sonora Freeway. Off-road, back going southbound on Sonora Freeway. Permission for a pit?
There you go. Saab asked for a pit. Candy is so fucking good. I don't even know if it's right. Frank says go ahead. He gets much of that shit.
Still headed southbound Sonora.
It registers in my brain what the fuck was just said, and I say we should wait for the third unit before we consider a pit. That's what I say. And then when they imply that I am okaying the pit or being the soze and saying, hey, let's pit them, I'm not. I'm saying that the third vehicle is there. Wherever the fuck that is. Where is it? Here, I think. Because the third vehicle is here, I see it on the map.
Third with us. You're good for a pit, boss.
So I imply that the third's caught up and we're good for a pit. I'm not saying, okay, you're allowed to pit now, bro. I'm the fucking captain. I'm feeding information based off what was said from my command line fucking 3 minutes ago. But, you know, fucking idiots on the internet are fucking stupid, dude. And it's that fucking brain damage that, you know, is the downfall of, you know, the positivity that's inside chases and shit like that, because they got to go into Buddha's chat or Vader's chat and say, Koil said to do the pit and he's on Francis, bro. What the fuck, bro? But the reality was, Francis was true to his character in that scenario, and you know, didn't okay the pit. I need food. Actually, I'll go get burgies. It's not Reddit though. I mean, Reddit is Papega, but it's also good at the same time. But the thing is, Reddit is this community. You are Reddit. You guys go on Reddit. Not all of you. Some of you don't like the morning dose of brain damage. But yeah, you know, it's that you are toxic as fuck without knowing it when you say dumb shit like that. But I read Reddit, man, and I'll say Reddit's fucking stupid, but I'll also say Reddit's good. Because that's the reality. Reddit is this community. That community is our community. They're the ones that watch us. But yeah, you can't teach IQ. You can't teach that. And then the other problem was police being aggressive. Dude, it was like let's have a look how long this fucking chase went for. Okay, let's have a look how long this fucking chase went for, real quick. Fuck, I already closed it. I would just want to sort of get the timing because I think it was well over 5 minutes, right? Don't ban people when I'm antagonizing them, by the way. Oh, here it is. I think it's in this thread, or was it a different one? Oh, I can go through my VOD anyway. Where the fuck is it? Here it is. So,
Oh, northbound Sonora Freeway.
chase ends
Careful.
like 10 minutes in, okay?
Big the fuck up. Bro.
Where is it? Where do we start? Yeah, so this looks like a 10-minute chase. Or is this on the way there? Yeah, don't know what the fuck. You know, it's literally 10 minutes before they even get fucking S1, dude. What the fuck do you want us to do? Drive around for fucking 30 fucking minutes before we even touch your car, dude? Fuck me, man. How are you gonna say fucking, you know, police were a fucking problem in that situation? 10 fucking minutes, bro. If you don't have a fucking plan in that time, do we just follow you for 30 fucking minutes? I don't understand. I don't think the police did anything wrong in that situation. And I think honestly, a lot of that should fall on those guys for how they handle that situation, man. Like I said, the desync shit sucks. We could give more room or something like that. But again, it's in the tunnels, and you know, I think we came around a blind corner and they slowed down. So I don't know what we did wrong, in all honesty. I think what we did there was fine. I think the frustration, like I said, came from the cards and the unknowing of what the fuck the messages meant. But I still don't think I don't think the police should be blamed heavily for what the fuck happened in that scenario, dude. And I think it's unfair that they did that. Am I too fat for this? Oh fuck. How am I gonna eat burgers all day? I'll just drop this shit. Bandages or burgers? That's the real question, boys. Oh, I'll just take a fucking armor off. I'll just use it. I got like fucking 5 armor missing. Police is there to give them content. That's bullshit. No, well, we are there to give them content. Like, we're not meant to stop a chase in 1 minute, but I think 10 minutes is very fair. Like I'm saying, like, I think they might have like had a misunderstanding of how long it was and what was actually happening. I think that was fair though. Hey, baby Jack. Oh, look how cool you look, dude. You look so cool. You want to say hello to chat?
You want to say hello to chat, Papa? Ask them to post smiley faces. Wahoo! Yahoo!
He looks so cool in his outfit, dude. Actually, the coolest. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. Like, it's the thing is, something like that, and what they've said about the time zone being AIDS. I don't think anything in that scenario was warranting of that being said at all. I don't know. Like, what do you guys expect to happen at a vote? Like, someone that disagrees. What do you guys perceive? What do you expect the vault to look like in that scenario? Four cops max? What the fuck? Anything should be expected. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the first time Cheng Gang did it, they got shot as soon as they left the fucking bank trying to go up a ladder. But they still went with it and ended up winning. That was the helicopter one. When they started climbing up the ladder, they were like, I think Speckle or somebody fucking started shooting them. It's like, bruh, relax, dude. Relax, dude. Don't need to fucking kill them. Well, you don't have to say, dude, not having a plan isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying, after 10 minutes of driving around, I think police being aggressive isn't a bad thing in a vault when you're going to make like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? The same people that are complaining were the same ones that wanted a higher risk, higher reward vault. And then when they get it, they want the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, bruh, come on. Like, what do we do here? I don't know how to make people happy, man. Same with trap houses? No, I think trap houses have flaws, and a lot of their argument with that is something that we didn't necessarily see that would happen. I think trap houses are actually not that great. I agree with them on that. There's way better systems that will encourage RP and plan to do it. I had to talk with Buddha and Afro about that. I'm asking you this as a viewer, by the way, like what you guys would like to see there, because obviously, like I said, I'm not going to deny it, and I've said it before. We're a content creator server. This is we're essentially trying to make it fun for you guys. I think it's because they didn't get the chance to get in the vault. Yeah, but I also think that falls on them for not doing the fucking vault. Not doing the power plant. They were impatient. So, I said earlier, for the guys that missed it, the power plant wasn't scuffed in a way that they should have got in. The power plant was going to reset at the same time, and they would have got stuck inside the vault. Basically, the first two doors were on a different cycle, so you could unlock them earlier than the bottom three doors. That's all it was. So when the server restarts, the vault is flagged as finished, so you can't rob it. So that's why you get the message that this lock had already been hit or whatever. So while I mean it's just an incorrect message. It should say you can't do this yet or something, but they shouldn't have got to that point. So the first two doors they shouldn't have got through. But, well, no, they should have got through. But the power would have cut off either way. Because the power was already off. So somebody did hit the power to turn it off. That's how they got in. But the vault reset halfway through that. And the power plant turned on. So they were fucked either way. They were 100% screwed. How would they know that, though? I mean, they don't know that. That's the idea of the vault. You know, it's not meant to be a, I know how this works. It's meant to be, it's meant to be a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, you're not meant to know the times. And I'm not going to say how long the power's on or off for that reason, you know, or how it works. You know, is it based off the first power you hit? Is that when it resets, or is it based off the last one? That's some shit you guys are going to have to keep learning, because there's still going to be more failures. The robbers didn't really have a plan. They needed one. I don't think they needed a plan in saying that. I'm just saying, like, the lack of planning was also a downfall to why they failed the vault. Even if they had have robbed the vault, their failed evacuation would have got them to lose the cash. It still would have ended the same way. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, no matter what happened, if they got away with the fucking cash at that point, they were going to jail because they got caught, or they got locked in the vault because the power went on. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Do we still have the mystery hidden mechanic no one found about yet? Mechanics change will change. I plan on doing different heists in the future. I'm just unsure. Like, I've been thinking about a heist to do and how we do it, but I sort of want to do something like crazy. Well, a couple of crazy different ones. We'll see what happens, I guess, but as a viewer of all sides, I think crims expect too much for too little. It should be harder. I don't know about that. I don't think they necessarily expect more. I just think I mean, honestly, in that scenario, they got it was confusing, but they wouldn't have got through. Like that's the point I'm making. It wasn't broken. Just the message that they received was not making sense to them because they thought it had been hit, but it hadn't been. All it had, if that message had said you can't hit this yet, they would have been like, oh, okay. But the reality is, at OOC, they knew to do the fucking power plant. They didn't do the fucking power plant, and they failed. That's what 100% was going to happen either way. Maybe a bigger gap between small and big crim payouts to emphasize. Well, there is, dude. The fucking vault pays hundreds of thousands of dollars. CG take the time to plan regardless. Well, that's not the thing. I still think them escaping how they wanted to isn't necessarily that bad. Like, sure, they've got more chance of getting caught. But the reason it failed isn't because of that. Well, I mean, it sort of is because they ended up getting fucking caught. But the lack of planning I'm talking about is the fucking power plant itself and rushing that shit. That's what I mean. CG shit has nothing to do with it. I prefer to watch that sort of shit. But, you know, each to their own. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. But like I said, a lack of planning is only going to lead to problems. And that's what happened. Did Koil say if there was a server restart cooldown on the power plant? Yeah, that's literally what we just said. The power plant was not ready to be hit. But the power was off. So the first 2 doors could get through, but the second 3 doors didn't give the right message. But when they were through there, it reset and then the power turned back on, which gave it the possibility to be hit. It was just fucking awkward timing, how everything happened. But like I said, if they had waited for the power plant to be hit by them, it would have worked. That's all they had to do. Please raise the sea level on it. I think there's actually a variable for the sea level, dude. But the most annoying thing is, like, I get that Francis is a fucking Pepega character. But it hurts. It honestly fucking hurts when you say you don't want to play at these fucking time zones and blame something or imply that Francis did something wrong or I did something wrong in that scenario when I think it was nothing but fair and lenient to them, considering what they did. Because the shitstorm that creates is now I have, you know, fucking 100 people upvoting saying Francis is a retard, or Koil, you know, is making, you know, this hour shit because he did XX, but literally I was not the reason for anything in there. Even the Molotov shit, you know, people are gonna crucify me for that and say, you know, that shit RP, but they're not even involved in the situation, man. You know, I don't think the people that were involved didn't have fun with what was happening, and I don't think it's fair to say this RP is wrong. If it's a controlled situation where those people are having fun in it, especially if you're in the server and not a part of that specific roleplay. I don't know. I feel like that's sort of cheesed out. So I don't know. I'd need more specifics. It'd be good to talk to them. I asked them what they, you know, what they didn't like with the police, but it was sort of like, you know, we always get the gray area response, I guess. Instead of saying, "Hey, this is a problem," they'll say, you know, it's not consistent, or just something. But we don't know what the consistency is that you want, and I don't know if you want consistency as a police officer. Why, if we have the exact same Soze pull you over every time, it's gonna be a pretty fucking dull experience. And I think the inconsistency of how you'll handle with situations makes it different. It makes it, you know, fresh every time something happens. So in conversations like that, people need to be direct. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. And people will say what Francis has done will get other cops fired, but if Brian, you know, has what guys, what happened on SBS Saturday? I didn't watch it, but the fact that it was called SBS Saturday makes me think that Francis isn't the only fucking one doing dumb shit in the fucking server. Everyone would have been fired. So Francis isn't the only one that does this. People are using it as a fucking scapegoat to say, hey, he's an admin. So because he does this, he's not going to get banned. But the reality is, a heap of people do dumb shit, man. You know? A heap of people do dumb shit. You know, we've had fucking people set on fire in the middle of a police shift, not just the DOC shit. Even I've done it as Francis, you know. I've seen people get doused in gasoline and shit. And we're not going to fire them. Why the fuck would we fire them, dude? You know, if they get caught, fuck yeah, suspend them for whatever. But, you know, it's... Papega shit happens, man. The only thing is with Francis is... I'm gonna stay true to that character. I'm not going to randomly do that. You know what I mean? Like, Francis is a fucking moron, okay? My character is doing this because he's a fucking moron. If I'm on Soze, I'm not gonna throw a fucking Molotov cocktail at somebody, okay? I'm not that fucking stupid. But I think I'm being consistent to what my character is in the world instead of changing it randomly and saying, hey, it's fucking Saturday, I'm gonna be SBS today. I'm just a fucking idiot. That's my character.